Oh, you said when you pointed at me? Oh, damn. All right. Well, cheers, everybody. Welcome to Sips and Scripts, the podcast that brings together the best of both worlds, cocktails and movies. We'll dive into all-time favorite films or explore the latest releases and pair it with a delicious cocktail while we share our thoughts, opinions, and some fascinating behind-the-scenes trivia. My name is Terrell, the Big Dundada, and I watch movies.
Terrell, they're the Big Dundada?
Yeah, that's what they call me back in the streets.
Okay, when you say they call you that, who is they?
It just be me and sometimes myself and I.
Okay, so the three of you. Okay.
All three of us. You know how we get down.
Well, all right. So also joining the Big Dundada is Kirsten. I am a cocktail influencer at lowcountrysocialite.com. Welcome to the show.
Yes, welcome.
Yes, we're back again. We had a few weeks off. Someone had the plague.
Dun, dun, dun. Who had the plague?
You know who had the plague.
Damn, that's crazy. Nah, I had that old COVID-19.
COVID-19? You made COVID sound a whole lot cooler than it actually is.
Yeah, because it really wasn't cool. I was struggling.
I bet.
And I didn't even know it. I was like, damn, I probably gave like so many people COVID.
Oh my God. Well, what it means is that he was safe and he stayed in the house and he didn't go nowhere and he didn't give nobody nothing.
Yeah, after I found out I had it, then I stopped bothering people. But
I know that does.
I was like, yeehaw. I was everywhere.
Wheeling and dealing.
Yeah, I was.
Irresponsibly. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you.
Yes. So today we are back with another episode. We are in season 3, episode 9. And today we are talking about a Spike Lee joint.
Not the ones y'all think. Okay. Yeah, Crooklyn.
You said not the ones that they think.
Yeah, because people, a Spike Lee joint. I wonder which one they talking about. Do the Right Thing? School Days? Mo Better Blues?
You don't think Crooklyn is one of the more popular ones? Oh my goodness. I don't even want to hear that. You know what? So Crooklyn, a coming of age story. So
a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. So, well, how about we start telling our history of the film? Terrell, what's your history with this film?
I believe my history with this film was me watching it at Darlene's house, at my sister's house.
Okay.
I believe I know she had it.
Of course, because she had every film on earth.
So I was like, yeah, I'm going to watch it. And then I watched it, and then I was like, yeah, that was a movie. And then I continued to live the rest of my life without seeing that film.
Oh my goodness. Well, my history. Well, were you done? Is that?
Yeah, that I'm done.
Okay. Well, my history of the film is I remember seeing it. I don't remember when, but I feel like it was before I went to college. So it must have been when I was like a teenager because it came out in 94.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And how was that? I think 94 was 9th grade for me, I think. So I know I saw it, must have been sometime in high school. And I remember, it's one of those movies where I remember like bits and parts of it. And then when I rewatched it to prepare for this episode, I understood why I remember just bits and parts of it. And it's because it doesn't really have a plot. It's just like this
things. Things happen throughout the whole film. You're like, things.
Yes, which I actually liked. It's just a few months in the life of a family, and that's pretty much it. Like, there's not really a strong plot. And usually, I mean, anyone who watches this podcast, usually that's the hill I die on. There's no plot, and if there was, I didn't understand it. But I think that this movie was done well for it to not have a plot. Like, it did what it was supposed to do. My thoughts.
Okay, all right. Those are her thoughts, ladies and gentlemen.
Those are my thoughts. So, because those are my thoughts, in spite of these being my thoughts, I'm challenging you to a 60-second recap.
Okay, yeah.
Do me proud, mister.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm about to put 60 seconds on the clock. Whenever you are ready.
All right. Okay, so Crooklyn. Crooklyn is about a family living in Brooklyn, Brooklyn neighborhood of New York, and they are just a regular, normal, everyday family. They go through their ups and downs, the struggles. It kind of centers around their daughter named Troy, who's 9, and the things that she likes to do and the things she sees around in her neighborhood, because she saw a lot as a child, as a 9-year-old. I was like, damn, I guess kids see a lot of things that we don't know that they really see. And so we kind of follow her, but then we kind of follow other kids that they have. Then we kind of follow the mom. Then we kind of follow the dad. And it gets sad. They jump around a lot. They go from place to place. And then the movie ends.
It gets sad and they jump around.
Yeah, it was real. Like, I was like, damn, this movie is really sad. And then it was over. I was like, huh. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's life. I mean, life be really sad. Then you be like, oh, okay. Then you just go on to the next thing. And that's what this movie did. It was like, on to the next thing.
But don't life really work like that, though?
Yeah, it was
like,
like, I give it that. It felt real. The people felt real. Everything felt real. It felt like it was a real family. It felt like these were real places. It didn't feel like, would they really do that in New York? But now, when they went out to the country, I was like, who are these children of the corn people y'all got out here in the country that y'all related to? But other than that,
oh my goodness,
the New York stuff felt real.
Anyway, I think it all felt real.
I'm a New Yorker at heart. That one summer I spent on the mean streets of New York.
I see you just don't mind lying. You are a New Yorker at heart. Okay.
It's like, nah, I hated New York.
I'm about to say, that don't even sound like you, but okay. Anyway, yes, thank you for that 60-second recap.
Anytime.
All right. Let's have a cocktail. I think it's time for a drink. You take.
I need 2 drinks.
All right. Well, so for Crooklyn, we are making a cocktail called a Brooklyn Block Party, and it reflects the lively and communal spirit of Brooklyn block parties. And the cocktail is fruity and it is bubbly and hopefully full of flavor. This is my first time making it, so we're gonna see. Okay.
All right, let's see.
All right, so we're gonna first start off with 1.5 ounces of vodka.
Okay.
And we're gonna use Tito's. Good old
Tito's.
Yeah, so we're gonna do 1.5 ounces of Tito's. In our shaker, we fill our shaker with ice. I should have said. And then we're gonna use 1/2 ounce of triple sec. Can you see?
All right, we got some triple sec.
All right, so 1/2 ounce of triple sec and a full ounce of cranberry juice. Do you like cranberry juice, sir?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want some cran apple. I like cran apple or cran grape. Or cran grape.
Well, I like cran apple and cran grape. Well, I like cran grape the most.
Yeah, that's probably my top one.
Because it's the sweetest cranberry juice. Cran grape is super sweet. But have you ever
get
tried
it while I'm flying?
When you're flying?
If they have it. Not when you're flying Spirit, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. But if you're flying Delta or regular airline, you can get you a good old cran.
You're such a good head. Well, have you tried the Simply?
No, I haven't tried that. Is that Simply making everything? They go Simply. First they started out lemonade. Now they everything you could ever think of. It's like Simply milk. Like, you sure this
the first man, I ain't drinking no Simply milk. I can promise you that. Nah, I try. I ain't gonna lie. I try that. All right, and then lastly, actually, kind of lastly, half an ounce of lime juice. So, all right. We put our top on our shaker and make sure it's closed really good. And we give it a shake. All right. So now we are going to fill our highball glass with ice and pour that in. But not all the way to the top because we're going to top it with some peach ginger beer.
Peach ginger beer. Okay.
Here we go. Our peach ginger beer. And garnish it with a dehydrated lime wedge. So there we go.
Own a factory?
No, I just own a big bag.
Jesus.
That's pretty good. If I do say so myself.
So what does it taste like? What is it giving you? What are the flavors that are popping?
Well, it's got some peachy flavor in there from the peach ginger beer, and it's really bubbly. It's not a strong cranberry taste, and that's why it's giving this little light pink, because the other liquors and spirits have kind of played that down, but it's still pretty sweet, but not too sweet, and yeah, a refreshing little juice.
Yeah.
So yep. So that's where we are. All right. Are you ready to dive into this movie?
Let's jump right on in.
You're such a butthead. Anyway, all right. So we are discussing Crooklyn. It is a 1994 American semi-autobiographical. I think Spike Lee called it docu-fiction.
Docu-fiction. Interesting. Okay.
Because it's like loosely based on his childhood and family. Very loosely. So it was produced and directed by Spike Lee, but his brother and sister kind of came up with it and wrote it, and he kind of brought it to life. So it takes place in the Bed-Stuy neighborhood of Brooklyn. What the full word for that was Bedford, Stuyvesant. I don't know about Brooklyn. Neighborhood of Brooklyn, New York, during the summer of 1973. And it stars Zelda Harris as Troy and Alfre Woodard as her mom, Carolyn, and Delroy Lindo as her dad. And she is a young girl coming of age. It's like, like we said earlier, it is just a few months in the life of a regular, normal family. And I don't know, it's almost like somebody just opened a window to this family's home and let us watch for like 3 months and then shut the window and was like, all right, that's enough.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what happened. It was really like, what are we going to do today? And then all of a sudden you be at the corner store, and then all of a sudden you are on, I don't know, throwing rocks at cats, swinging cats by the tail, and all kind of crazy stuff. It was a wild ride.
Yeah, it was. And Usually like we were talking about earlier, not having a plot usually annoys me, but I do appreciate Spike Lee's like using pretty much just nostalgia to tell this story. Like it was just a whole string of just nostalgia. And maybe I loved it because a lot of that stuff I remember, even though this is kind of like a decade before us, it's still a lot of that stuff still seeped over into the 80s when we were born.
Yeah.
So it's one of my favorite Spike Lee films. It's not my most favorite, but it is I would say top 3. What are your
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
For real.
Damn. Man.
Well, my question to you is, and I'm going to answer and then throw it to you.
Okay.
What are your top 3 Spike Lee joints? And I'm like, I feel like I should look at a list of all of them so I don't forget any one of them. But
pulling up now.
Yeah, so let's pull up a list of Spike Lee joints. So She's Gotta Have It, School Days, Do the Right Thing, Mo Better Blues, Jungle Fever, Malcolm X, Crooklyn, Clockers, Girl 6, Get on the Bus, He Got Game, Summer of Sam, Bamboozle, 25th Hour, She Hate Me, Inside Man, Miracle at St. Anna, Red Hook Summer. Some of these I have not seen. Old Boy, The Sweet Blood of Jesus. What is this, Chirac?
Yeah, Chirac. Mm-hmm.
Oh, is this relatively new?
Yeah, that's with Nick Cannon. You don't worry about it.
Okay, don't worry.
You ain't never got to worry about it.
It wasn't in danger of being watched by me.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, Passover, Black Klansman, The Five Bloods, High and Low. So I ain't gonna lie. I think I've seen all of them up to He Got Game, and then after that, I haven't seen any of. So I've seen half of his joint.
Okay.
So I guess I'm gonna have to choose out of the ones that I've seen. And so my top 3 is gonna be School Days and Do the Right Thing and Crooklyn.
Okay. I will go my top 3. I will go with Do the Right Thing, Mo Better Blues.
Of course. I was just waiting on your ass to say it.
Hey man, Denzel playing the trumpet. You know, I used to play the trumpet. So you know,
of course.
Kind of goes hand in hand, you know what I'm saying?
Don't it though?
And Inside Man. I really love Inside Man.
You know, okay. I have not seen Inside Man. What is that the one with Denzel?
Just about all these had Denzel in the scene. Like, it was the one with Denzel? Like, which one?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, so your top 3, what? Mo Better Blues.
Do the Right Thing. Yeah, Do the Right Thing, Mo Better Blues, and Inside Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No surprise there. But yeah, Crooklyn is one of my top 3, and I'm gonna say probably because of the soundtrack.
The soundtrack was really good. I'll give you that. The sounds, it felt like you were in that time, and they pulled the music. They even pulled Soul Train out. I was like, I was there. Yeah. Felt like they was like, even though it was like before my time, it felt like, okay, this is a regular day in New York in the 80s if you're a kid, not just in the 70s.
Yeah. The soundtrack has so much good music on it. I'm about to look up the soundtrack. Yes, Crooklyn soundtrack. So I think the only like current song was the actual theme Crooklyn song from by the Crooklyn Dodgers. Okay, that didn't last. But Curtis Mayfield, Sly and the Family Stone, the Shy Lights, Jackson 5. Yes, tons and tons. The Spinners, tons and tons of music. Yeah. The Stylistics, Stevie Wonder. Yeah. Isaac Hayes, like the list is incredible. It's a good soundtrack.
Yeah, it had two parts. So yeah,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
believe that the soundtrack was probably more well received than the movie was.
Yeah. To me, it felt like one of those films that's created in order to drive a soundtrack.
Yeah. Hmm.
And even though I think, well, I know that it was created as this like semi-autobiographical thing for Spike Lee,
Hmm.
but the movie is such a driving force that it feels like that is what is driving this movie along. But yeah, so the movie released in 1994. The budget was 14 million. And it only recouped 13 million. So almost made what it cost, but bit of a flop.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it has a 79 or 79% on Rotten Tomatoes. 79%, yes.
I could see that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not terrible by a long shot. I've seen much worse movies.
Yeah.
So
So the general consensus was that it was a personal project that warmly reflects on Spike Lee's childhood. Um, Crooklyn is an episodic celebration of family and the indelible facets of one's hometown. So I think it did pretty good for it to be like a personal project. Like you could tell, like this was just
yeah,
something he wanted to put out that was part of his heart, and he wanted to, you
share it
know,
with us. Share it with the masses, which I'm
yes,
not mad at. Yeah.
yeah. So, well, I have a question for you.
All right.
Watching the film, Spike Lee, he's always had like interesting filming, like his camera work.
Hmm.
What do you think about his use of like the different camera work in this film? Like, did you notice how like when they went down south, everybody was long, the the
Yes.
the, the scene was stretched out, and when
Hmm.
the two guys, the two friends, the glue
Yep.
huffers, they were always almost like in a dream sequence, like they were floating upside down. Um,
Hmm.
I thought, let me answer that, give it to you. I thought that it was interesting to do that, and it was a simple way to kind of convey how he saw things as a child.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, I can't speak for Spike Lee, but that's what I'm assuming. Like, you know, the two friends, the glue huffers, them floating upside down. I think as a child, that is what I would feel like that they're feeling,
Hmm.
because they were so high, like so high they didn't even realize the glue was still around their mouth.
Ooh, that
It
was nasty. That, that really creeped me out when I saw it.
was so gross. And I looked up years ago like why he did that long, like stretched out the film, and I never found an answer for that. So I'm just gonna guess what the answer is.
Okay.
And I feel like he did that because the North, especially as a child, the North and the South are so completely different. And
Hmm.
I think that he made it so that it would just look just as weird to viewers at home. Like when you transition as a visitor from the North to the South, or even from the South to the North, things are just
Just different.
weird. And you don't
Hmm.
understand things as a child, even as an adult, but definitely as a child. Like things are just different and weird. And I feel like that aspect ratio that he chose for that, I feel like that's why he did that. And I could be wrong, but that's my thoughts.
Okay.
What are your
Interesting.
thoughts about his cinematic choices?
I believe Spike Lee is extremely gifted when it comes to that, to the cinematic part. I believe it was shot beautifully. And of course, you have to get the Spike Lee where he was, I forgot what it's called, but it's that one shot where they're not really walking, but they're on like this like dolly and
Yeah,
they're
that
kind of
one
like
shot. Yeah.
gliding, yeah, and they're gliding and the camera's going and they're just going to wherever they're going, but they're not walking there, but they're still getting there.
Hmm.
So that's something that I always enjoy. You like, you've seen the Spike Lee movie if you see that shot. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
his typical Spike Lee shot. Yeah.
So that I always love when I see stuff like that. I love how it looked and everything looked, especially when they were in the city. Everything just looked bright, vibrant. The shots he was taking, it was a beautifully shot movie. So I enjoyed it. But when he went down, that's one thing. When you said the aspect ratio changed, I thought something was wrong with my TV. I was like, when they got there and it kind of stretched out, I was like, what is going on? Then I was like, whatever, I don't care. Let me get through this movie.
I've heard so many people say that, like, is something wrong with my TV? No, just Spike Lee doing his thing. So yeah, it was a very interesting choice because and I like it makes me kind of wish like I had seen it in theaters because I wonder how that looked on the big screen, like because it's already so huge and then these people like stretched out, like that's kind of weird. So but Spike Lee is very gifted filmmaker, and not every one of his films is a hit, but you can not deny like he is very talented.
Very extremely talented. Yeah. I think people don't talk about him as much as they did in the 90s when he was in his heyday, but he's still one of the top directors of all time, in my opinion.
Because I think, like, especially in the 90s and stuff, when you saw that little tagline, a Spike Lee joint, you knew you're about to be treated to something. So, I want to talk about, so not to skip ahead to the end of the film, but, we kind of bounce around. But the film kind of ends with Troy's mother passing away from cancer. And I know that you personally have had experience with that. So I do want to ask about, if you're okay about talking about that. But like the role shifting after a parent's death. I mean, I've experienced the death of a parent, but I did not experience that until I was in my 20s, which I still feel was really young to lose a parent. But I know it's very different when you lose a parent at such a young age. And we, in this film, we watch Troy kind of transition into the mother's role. And I remember when I watched this the first time thinking, oh, that's so sweet. I'm so proud of her. But then on this rewatch, I was like, gosh, this is incredibly sad. I mean, it was sad then. I mean, obviously, but it's like her mom is gone and she's now basically having to raise these 4 boys, even the older ones. Like she's the leader. And I was like, gosh, I started to feel really bad for Troy in a way that I did not feel when I first watched the movie. So yeah, do you have any thoughts about that? You want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, being that even though I do have siblings, but they were all gone from the house when I was a kid, so it was kind of like I really didn't have to do anything. Like I had to look after any younger siblings or anything like that. I was just like, oh, wow, this is it. But it's so different because you're so used to having that person there every single day of your life, and then all of a sudden, poof, they're gone, and you like, oh wow, and then you thinking like, this can't be real, this can't be what's going on. But then after time, you're like, whoa, this is definitely real, and you definitely like, well, I gotta go to school, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, still gotta do the things that I was taught before they left. And that's really my whole thing. Because like I said, I didn't have anybody else to, like I had to help anybody or do anything for anybody else. It was just basically me and my dad. And then, I still had family around, but like living in the house, it was just me and my dad. So
yeah. I can grasp that. Like, I know as far as like role shifting, when my dad passed, like especially those first few days, like my mom was completely out of it because what happened was so sudden.
Mm-hmm.
And like I had to automatically shift into this role of like making sure my mom was okay, helping to plan a funeral, helping to write an obituary and picking out photos, and then also like changing our locks and just like a bunch of different stuff, like making sure people didn't stay at the house too long and making sure people weren't walking all over the house because when somebody dies, the house is like full. I remember, I don't remember much about that time because it was like bits and pieces and most of it was like a blur. But I remember cases of soda stacked up to the ceiling. Like people bring cases, like it's funny how the things you remember around those times. Like I remember cases of soda stacked up to the ceiling, and I remember like people bringing in chicken, and people calling, and most people were very warm and compassionate, but some people were like, because of what happened, we're like, did that really happen? Is that the truth? We're watching the news. Is that? And it's like, so dealing with that. And so my role shifted, and even though I was like 25, I was still a dumbass kid. Like, I really do not think that you grow up until your late 20s or early 30s. Like, and some people grow up faster than that, fine.
Yeah.
But I feel like you don't really get rid of your dumbassness until later in life. But I had to like shift gears and kind of grow up really quick. And so my heart went out to Troy because, she was doing the brother's hair. She went and took care of the bully at the end.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just felt incredibly sad for this girl. And not because when I watched it as a teenager, I was like, oh, that's so great. She's taking the mother's role and this family is moving on. But as an adult, an old ass adult that I am now, I'm like, gosh, it's so sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I wondered about, because the dad, he seemed to be a little selfish. And I'm like, how is he going to step into this role of now being the primary caregiver for these 5 children?
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt like it's even more pressure on Troy, because I feel like the dad would be the type where whatever she does, he's going to allow her to do it. So if she wants to be in the full-time mother role for these kids, he's going to let her do it.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And not really let her have a childhood, And
because he got to work on his music and things,
Bruh.
He got to bring real music back.
Bruh.
I'm like, bro, are you serious? You sound like one of them people who like, I'm gonna still be rapping. Like, no, stop rapping and go get a real job, my guy.
I was trying to understand, did he have another job or not? No. Like, what was the deal?
I think he was successful early working with other people. That's what it seemed to be like. He was successful. He made a bunch of money, and then when that gig stopped or he went away from that to try to do his own thing, he had just been working on his own thing for so long that she was like, okay, now we broke. So I got to go back to work. And
then the way, like, they had tenants, which when I saw this as a younger person, I thought that they just lived upstairs. I didn't realize that they were renting like a room or whatever from them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't realize that either.
Yeah. And then when he came down, like, basically expecting them to understand that they don't have no lights for a few days. They don't have any power, and expecting them to be okay with that for a few days. I was like,
he explained it so calmly. I was like, it was like a matter of fact, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We got these candles, you feel me? Like, we gonna be all right. You got gas, hot water, you straight. You don't need lights for what? What you need these lights for? I was like,
he was like, lights for what? I mean, when you think about it, what do you even use lights for?
Exactly. Like you only need it at nighttime, but we got these candles. You see, I'm like, you gonna burn the whole damn building down.
Dude, when I saw that, they ain't gonna have no house long. They ain't gonna have no block long. Because, first of all, who has 200 candles to light like that? And then who lights them all with them wild ass kids?
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, them kids is surely gonna knock the candles over, and that house is gonna go up like a little matchbook.
Yes. I was like, dude, that is not the move. But okay. I was like, that's what this movie should have been about. The inferno that them candles was about to cause.
But man, for them to have the part where he came to cut the lights off, I was like, they have to come in your house to cut your lights off? I just would have locked the door. Not today.
Nobody's home.
I'm like, I'll be right back.
Yeah. I wonder. Now I'm curious because they did have to go in the house to turn the lights off. And so what do they do if nobody's home?
I don't know, because you just go in there regardless if you need to cut the lights off or not. Somebody got to let you in, seems like. But I don't know.
I got to find out. I got to ask somebody. I don't know who to ask, but I'm going to find out. Y'all
now it seems like they can cut your lights off from anywhere. Like, all right, you can cut your lights off.
I remember, the only thing that I remember that was kind of like that is back in the day, if you got your water cut off, they would have to come and turn it back on. Like they could turn it off somehow up there in the office.
Remotely, like it's off.
Yeah.
But if somebody comes cut it on. Right?
Yeah, but when you pay to get it back on, they had to come out to the neighborhood and twist something in the ground or something. I don't know what they did, but that's the only thing that I can think of as far as that. But yeah, that's a good question. We'll find out.
So we're gonna find out. Anybody who knows, let us know.
Anyone who knows, let us know. Stay tuned. This is a very important question because we only ask the deepest philosophical questions here at Sips and Scripts.
What happened to the lights? How they get them back on?
Yeah, where the lights? But yeah, so yeah, but that I was like, he was just way too calm and explaining about the light situation. Like
he was way too calm explaining that he had already paid it, knowing he hadn't paid it.
You're lying, dude. You're lying.
He looked at us.
Like he was lying.
He looked like he was looking at it like, is this the right? Is this the address? Hold on, 7. Yeah.
That. I paid that. Yeah.
Bro. That got paid. Like, bro, they wouldn't send this man over here in that big ass truck if it had been paid.
You're lying. Yes, you're lying, sir.
That was sad, but. Because they were just about to go have a good time. They was like, all right, who ready to get in the car and go on a little road trip.
Wasn't that sad? It did cut the good time short.
Yeah, they was like, because he had just got back. I was like, dang, the first day you come back?
Yeah.
Like, what did you do with the light money? You was printing out all them damn flyers?
Yes. Well, speaking of him coming back, what do you think about the interactions between the children and the parents? I know I was like, that oldest boy, he had some attitude.
Yeah.
And
the one with the glasses.
Yes. And I was like, are they allowed to get away with that because there's so many of them and she probably didn't know where it came from or what? Because I was like,
Jesus. That was too many kids. Every time I see too many kids, I get nervous. So I be like, that's too many kids in your house. I can't with a bunch of kids. I can't. My kids, anybody's kids. If I had one more kid, I'll be back. I'm about to go to the store and get some milk.
Oh, you're gonna run out and get some milk?
Yeah, I'll be right. I'm about to go get some cigarettes. Like, you don't even smoke. I'll be right back.
Oh Lord, I hope you're watching this.
Come back when you turn into LeBron James. Like, oh, I knew it this whole time. I'm back. Got the milk and the cigarettes.
Yes. And that was a lot of kids for her to be dying and leaving. Gee whiz. I felt sorry for all of them. And but yeah. So what are your thoughts on the interactions between the children and the parents. But back to what you said earlier, you were like, those kids saw a lot of things, or were you talking about just Troy, or
all of them in general? They saw they didn't. I mean, I guess it was a normal thing. Kids see stuff they're not supposed to see all the time, either intentionally or unintentionally. They see things that, like, even when I was a kid, you see some shit, you be like, oh, okay,
yeah.
You be like, I saw that. And then it's just a part of you. But like these kids, I was like, you just seeing stuff, you just like, and she was just and it seemed like Troy was always the one that was there, like when it was going on, like she was like,
I'm sorry, what was the Troy face again?
Because she was always just there, just like staring off into, like she was like taking it all in, like she was like bringing it into her. It felt like she was. It wasn't like she was like looking and it just kept it moving. Like when she went to the store and she was just standing there, she was like. And then the guy was like, "Hey, $1 or whatever." He was like 82 cents. She was like, "Hold on, I need to take this in."
Yeah, she was like, "Hold on, I ain't done."
And then she didn't even look at him to order whatever else. She's just like, "Yeah, let me get some candy."
But to be fair, I'd have been looking at that too, because it was real like,
why is this happening? That's what I think about the movie. The movie was a lot of why is this happening? Like, there's a lot of shit you be like.
But you know what? A lot of stuff in life be like that. Why is this happening? Like, I don't know what. Cannot explain that scene with RuPaul dancing on the little Puerto Rican guy.
It was just happening. You went into the store again, and it was a regular day at the store. They were just.
And you know what? To be fair, if you go to convenience stores a lot, you will see a lot of weird shit happening.
True.
This is true. So, I mean, and it's like I was like, are they putting on a performance, or is he trying to holler at RuPaul? I couldn't understand what was going on. It was just like a little dance sequence. It's like
dancing, and it wasn't like it was a quick dance sequence. Like it was like a full-on dance number. I was like,
yeah, it was like full-on performance.
Like, what is going on? Like, what does this have to do with anything in this movie? Like, why is this even happening? And why is we like focused so solely on this? And then she's just looking, and then I'm looking. And
but I guess, but you know what? But you were right though. Troy was kind of like, she operated like this kind of like vessel throughout the whole movie. Like she just took things in. Because when she got to the South, then she started jumping on the bed singing what RuPaul was singing.
Yep.
So I guess that had become a part of her now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah. So, but yeah. So let's talk about the other boys.
All right.
The Black Eyed Peas scene
made me so angry because the Black Eyed Peas scene is a scene that has occurred in my house plenty of times.
And that is why I brought it up.
Pisses me off to no end.
Would you like to talk about your trauma surrounding Black Eyed Peas?
Oh, me? I love Black Eyed Peas.
Well, you've had some trauma with
I've had trauma with the other things. Peas, regular peas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't like, but Black Eyed Peas.
Black Eyed Peas are good.
That's what I don't understand. I didn't know. Now he had more Black Eyed Peas than a kid should have on his plate.
Yeah, he did have plenty to go around.
Damn, like y'all ain't trying to split that up, but y'all gave him all the Black Eyed Peas and everybody else regular food. Like,
yeah. And that was so sad when this dad came in with all that damn cake
and ice cream. I was like, damn. Mm-hmm. Then the dog ate the cake.
The dog got the cake. Why did little boy didn't get that piece of cake from that dog?
He was like, it's a lost cause. That dog was like, he
had like 100 seconds to get that cake. And I was like, now I would have made him either go get that cake, or he would have had none, because they ain't make no sense.
But you know, once you start chasing a dog that's trying to eat something, as soon as you go after it, it's gonna eat it real quick, and it's gonna be gone.
That's true. But that dog, first of all, that dog looked old as hell. Second, the dog came up to the table, chomped on the cake, looked up like,
"Hey, I got your cake,"
and then scurried off. He was like, "My cake! He stole my cake!" I was like, "Bro, you had plenty of time to get that. You must ain't want it."
Man.
That my thoughts.
Yeah, he went. I'm like, I'm sorry, but yeah, you're not getting no more cake. Bro.
Yeah, here go a little more ice cream. That's all I can do for you, bro.
There probably wasn't no more ice cream neither. You know, the little half gallons be gone. They had too many kids. I'm when I see too many kids, I can't. I break down. I feel like I'm sad for the whole family. I'm like, why is there so many of y'all?
It was only 5.
Only 5?
Yeah.
Let's get only 5 more people at your house and see what you say.
Man, no.
Exactly.
But
and that's how I felt. I'm like, and the thing, I don't even, and I'm looking through the lens of just like, it's trying to discipline them, trying to feed them, trying to clothe them. Like school about to get kicked back in for these kids. And I'm like, man, when they got school closed, it ain't going down. Everything going up. So you trying to get, and now imagine trying to feed and clothe 5 kids. I couldn't.
Yeah.
Like y'all got this. Somebody got to go.
Well, it can't be Troy because Troy gonna have to do everybody's hair and stuff now. So
yeah, Troy can stay. The little grown one who all he want to do is watch the Knicks. You go find the Knicks and you go let one of them take care of you.
He broke his daddy's heart with that darn that missing that concert because he wanted to go see the Knicks, which I was like, he had tickets. I mean,
yeah. It seemed like everybody missed the concert.
I'm about to say, yeah.
There wasn't many people there.
Yeah.
He's like, this is gonna be my big break.
Yeah. I was kind of not mad at him for choosing the Knicks, but you know, hey, what do I know? But but yeah, that it was a lot. And I'm like, you know, that I'm trying to think, is it easier to raise 5 kids now or 5 kids then?
I don't think it was easy
if you had
any time. I don't think it. I think it probably would be easier then than it is now, just because stuff it's too damn high. Jesus.
Yeah.
Like,
but you know, I think like I agree. Like I couldn't imagine raising 5 kids, putting 5 kids through school, and then putting 5 kids through college and sports and all this other stuff they want to do. But I think then I also think like because they had the space for 5 kids,
yeah,
but they didn't have the resources for 5 kids.
Exactly. Because like, you see how they were trying to split them up, sending them here and there and everywhere. They was like, all right, let's split y'all up and go. Because you can't. They have logistically, like it's hard to get around with 5 kids. It's hard to. It's just hard to move with a whole bunch of kids.
Yeah, so. It was just a lot of sharing these kids had to do. Like they had one TV, and they were all trying to get around that little ass table. And I mean, I imagine that there are. Well, I'm sure there are pros and cons to that kind of living, because you raising your kids to be real together and communal.
Yeah. And they definitely gonna be real together.
Because they, you know, they all had to decide on what they were gonna watch on TV together. They had to, you know, make room for each other. They sat on the bed, and when Troy went to the store, she wasn't gonna share with him, but she was gonna share with them boys.
Yeah.
But yeah. Shit, I don't know.
That whole thing. I was like, I don't know. I guess I'll be having flashbacks because the two kids is a lot. So if you're talking about adding 3 more to that mix, no.
My babies are angels, so whatever.
Okay, well you can come get them and they halos and take them back with you.
I'm here to pick you when your halo's up. Well, but before we finish up, I do want to talk about Zelda Harris, who played Troy. Okay. Well, actually, I want to talk about Troy.
Oh, okay.
But Zelda carried this whole film on her back.
She did.
The girl acted her ass off. Like, where's her Oscar? Because I think she did an amazing job of like, because like you said, you know, there were a lot of scenes that were really just focusing on her and her face. Mm-hmm. Like, and she conveyed a lot of feelings and even like things that just were unsaid. We kind of understood what she was experiencing and going through. So the girl carried the whole film on her back.
She did. She did a very good job. I was impressed.
Yeah.
She did a great job.
Yeah, and to work with like, you know, Alfre Woodard and Delroy Lindo, which it was early in his career, but even still, like that caliber of acting, she did a fantastic job. So yeah. You have any final thoughts?
No, I believe we touched on everything that I was thinking about. You actually cheated off my paper, but it's all right.
Well, you know what? We didn't talk about the most famous scene in this film, about that damn dog popping out the couch.
I was thinking about that, and I was like, I'll let that one slide. That damn dog. I'm like, did the girl, who put the dog in the couch?
That is the question we need to ask Spike Lee. Who put the dog in the couch?
I think it was old girl. I think it was Troy.
You think it was Troy?
Yeah, Troy was fucking with that dog the whole time. Troy.
I don't know. Like,
You think it was the cousin?
I think so, because what was her name?
I guess it's good as mine.
Viola.
Oh, okay.
Viola was slightly evil.
Slightly evil?
Yeah, she was a sweet girl. Well, then when she, like, that's not my real mama. And, like, I don't have to listen to you. It's like, yeah, you killed that dog. That dog. Because that dog, ain't no dog gonna accidentally go in a fold-up couch.
No. That dog popped up at that fold-out couch. And then the little girl, she couldn't hold it. Whoever the other little girl that was at the party, she couldn't hold in her laughter. She was grinning from ear to ear.
And that would have been me, because when I first saw that scene, I hollered, because that was funny to me. Because when she hit the ground on her knees, oh Lord, I was oof. That is like top tier. That is a funny scene.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But the aunt was so obnoxiously annoying.
Yeah, she was, and I don't understand why. Is that? I don't know. I guess I don't know people like that.
Yes, you do.
I know some uppity people, but I don't know people that is annoying as she is. She was annoying.
Yeah, she really was. Like, Troy's hair bothered her. The way Troy dressed bothered her.
Yeah, she was like, throw that away. I was like, dang, you gonna throw away the girl clothes? It ain't like she got a whole bunch of clothes. You just gonna throw it away?
Yeah, that was just so outrageous. Like, this girl is a visitor in your home. Nobody has told you that you could just throw away the child clothes and just change the way the girl looked. Like, come on now. But yeah. So.
And Song, which is a strange name, but okay.
Mm-hmm. So, well, it's time for Best Worst Weirdest, Terrell.
All right, let's see.
So this is part of our podcast where we share the best part of the film, the worst part of the film, and the weirdest part of the film. So,
All right. Let's see. Best part of the film for me was I enjoyed the music and I enjoyed the actors. Alfre Woodard, All Star,
yeah.
Delroy Lindo, great. Zelda Harris, even though I really haven't seen her in much else other than this, and I think she was in He Got Game. But yeah, she really did carry the film. Especially for kid actors, because a lot of people are like, oh, kid actors suck. They really can't act like that. But the acting in this film, I believe, Spike Lee took his time. He got the shots he needed to get. He got the takes he needed to get, and he put together a really good film. That was the best part. Let's see, the worst part of the film. I know you was like, I don't need no plot, but I don't need all this jumping around where y'all just doing random stuff on a Tuesday. Like, like I need more. I need y'all. I need this story to go somewhere. I understand y'all wanted to show how you was living in New York growing up in the 70s. That's all fine and well, but I needed more. I was like, so what y'all, it's like nothing, like the guy that with all the dogs, that really came to nothing. They just wanted to argue with him all the time. I was like, I guess, okay. And
It was a day in the life kind of thing.
like, I'm throwing trash on your stoop. He's throwing the trash back on our stoop. Why are you throwing the trash? Because they messing with me. Well, they messing with me. And I was just like, I don't care. I was like, take your glasses, go back in there with all your 45 dogs and play
Not
your
take
music.
your glasses.
Yeah, because there was some thick ass glasses.
They were outrageous.
I ain't never seen no glasses that thick. I was like, they can't be real. Them like novelty glasses.
Yeah, I know them glasses did come from Party City. They had to have. Ooh, but yes.
And then the weird part of the film was it looked like with the grown-ups that was hanging out with these kids. Like I was like, y'all can't be kids, and these are obviously kids, but y'all are all hanging out like, yep. I just couldn't get past that. I'm like, why is this guy? And then like you could tell he was a grown up because when they left, he was like, take care of my place, and if something happens, you know what to do. It was like I was like, why is this grown ass man spending you ain't got nowhere to go, grown ass man? You like you got nothing to do but hang out with these children on the stoop all day. That part was weird to me. It wasn't just him; it was the other one. It was Bokeem Woodbine, I believe.
Which I did not know he was in this movie until I saw him. I was like,
I was looking in the back because he sure was hiding out back there. He knew he wasn't supposed to be there. He was like, I'm trying to be in the movie, but I ain't supposed to be with these kids all day neither.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Okay.
So yeah.
All right.
What's your best, worst, weirdest?
My best, worst, weirdest. The best would be just Troy. Just the whole, like, she was just such a genuine little kid, and I felt a range of emotions watching her. And Zelda did an amazing job portraying Troy. And the music too, like, it's an incredible soundtrack. It is a prime example of soundtracks just being amazing in the 90s. And you know, we talk about that all the time on this show about how soundtracks.
The soundtrack is.
You would buy an album, like you would buy a soundtrack just like you would buy like somebody's album. You don't have that now. You don't have that.
Not at all.
The worst would be so the fight between the mom and the dad, even though you know, like I said, this was kind of like a couple of months in the life of a family. When they had that blow up fight about the check and then she put him out, I was like, she was real quick to put him out. And so it made me feel like this, obviously there must have things going
Something
on that
else.
led up to that.
Right.
We didn't get to see that. So
if they didn't do all that damn jumping around, you would have seen it. Tell them that could have been the story.
right. But yeah, it was like all of a sudden, because I was shocked to hear her say, "I want you out." Because I was like, was that argument that bad? But obviously, I know she mentioned that this was like the 5th time this month that he bounced the check, and I guess she was tired of him. But you know, we didn't see that. All we saw was like the one argument.
And
that
it was like,
because before that, their relationship seemed fairly good. Like they were like a typical family, you know.
right.
And I'll admit, of course, you don't know all the inner workings of people's relationships and stuff and what's going on. So, and maybe that's not a worse, because maybe that is a lesson. Like things don't always appear as they, or they seem as they appear, or appear as they seem, or however you say that. But
however you say that,
yeah.
like, what the phrase is,
yeah, whatever it is.
Don't sound like your mama.
No, she would have screwed it up much worse. But yeah, so I was like, that's maybe we could have gotten a little more about the turmoil in their relationship, but you know, these things happen, I guess. Right. So that was the worst for me. The weirdest would be there's a lot of weird stuff in this movie.
Yeah.
The weirdest, I don't know. I watching this movie, because I watched it a few times before, I often wonder like why. Like it was Troy's decision to go home. So it was like, were you guys just gonna not tell her what was going on with her mom and let her stay down there for another 2 weeks? Because it seemed like her mom passed very quickly.
Yeah, that whole situation happened very quickly. I was like, it wasn't even like, oh, she got sick or she wasn't feeling too well. And it was like, Troy came home. Oh, yeah, by the way, your mom got cancer. I was like, what?
Yeah, and I mean, like that, it can happen quick like that, but
yeah, but like, jeez,
it was like no conversation, or at least we weren't privy to it. Right. Like calling Aunt Song and Uncle Clem and being like, "Hey, Troy needs to come on home." But because it was, I wonder, like, did Spike Lee do that on purpose? Like maybe to show that perhaps Troy might be an intuitive woman, or like a little clairvoyant, like she just knew automatically. She just knew it was time to go home. And I know like her aunt was being obnoxious, but she had been obnoxious the whole time. And it was like Troy was finally like, "I'm going home." And the aunt apologized, which something she hadn't done before.
Yeah.
And Troy was like, "No, it's time for me to go home." And it was almost like she knew that her place, she needed to go home. Like she might not have known exactly what was going on, but she knew that it was time for her to go home. And in the way that she like kind of stood on it, like, no, it's time for me to go home. It felt like it was deeper. It was more than just her aunt Song pissing her off.
Right.
So I don't know. So I think that was just kind of one of the weirdest things in this film. So yeah. Well, let's open up happy hour.
Yeah.
Who you having a cocktail with?
And
then a mocktail. If it's one of the kids, we'll have a mocktail. It's fine. It's fine.
No, there's too many kids. I ain't having no mocktail with no kids. I'm going to have a mocktail, well, a cocktail with Woody Delroy Lindo. I want to see, wow, what you got going on with this music thing, man? You all right?
Yeah.
It seemed like he didn't like the newer R&B music that was coming out, because he called it, he acted like it wasn't good enough. Like that ain't. He
kept saying rock and roll, and I was like,
I don't think he was talking about rock and roll. That was the strange thing about it. I don't believe he was talking about rock and roll. I think he was talking about R&B.
It was weird, because I was like, who was expecting you
Yeah, and then like when the shot lights came on, he was like, "I told you about playing that stuff," and I was like, "Okay, so he's talking about that."
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, I guess if you were used to playing, was he used? But they don't say what he was playing. Was he only playing classical music? I just didn't understand what he was doing before.
I think he was just doing like jazz, like
Jazz. Okay, so he was doing jazz compositions. He probably was in a trio or something like that.
yeah.
I don't know. It was they really didn't. It was like he did music.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay.
And we only were treated to his music once, and in that empty venue, and I mean it was beautiful, but it was like,
but it was empty.
Bro, ain't nobody checking for that right now, unless you're trying to do like some scores for movies and stuff. But that
not scores for the movie,
because it was just like piano recital type music. Like it was very weird. Him holding on to that.
Like, I had to compose this.
I kind of need a Crooklyn too, because I really need to know if
not a Crooklyn too.
I need a Crooklyn too, because I really need to know if Troy's daddy got his shit together and like, and it's so funny because his shit was so untogether that at the end of the movie I was like,
are they gonna be all right?
Yeah, I was like, they're gonna be okay. I was like, well, they'll probably get the mom's social security, and I literally had those thoughts, like
what's gonna happen to this family now that the mother's gone?
Yeah, because homeboy didn't. I ain't gonna say he didn't want to work, but I don't know. He just was selfishly like chasing a dream, and not to say that you can't chase your dream, but it's like you're chasing a dream at the expense of your partner, like,
and the expense of all them kids. Kids. I just too many kids for you to be like, I'm gonna be the greatest composer since Beethoven. I need you to relax.
Yes, and I get it. Maybe he was like just trying to hold on to, because it seemed like he was successful in the past, but
because he was saying like, I used to take you to Bloomingdale's and this and that and that. Well, okay, well you had some money, but now that money gone.
Yeah, I mean, like I really went to thinking about like, well, how much is the rent there, and do they own it? Like, I was really worried about those kids. So somebody need to go check on Troy and them.
Come to find out that where they shot that brownstone that they were in sold a couple of years ago for like 4-point-something million.
Wow.
Yeah, but you know that's New York prices.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Well, I am having a cocktail with I'm gonna have a cocktail with Troy. It'll be a little mocktail. I'm like, girl. Or now that she is old enough, because she's Zelda Harris is 39 now. So
oh wow, okay.
Troy, you're 39 now. Girl, how you been, girl? Talk to me. Talk to me.
Not you want a whole life story.
Girl, let me pour you a drink, girl, because you was going through. And I know after the cameras left, after we all left watching your life, I know y'all went through. So I want to know about that. That's all I'm saying.
So you want to catch up with her now?
Yeah, I really do. Like now. All right. Well, any final thoughts on the film? Did we cover everything?
I believe so. I believe we hit it and quit it.
Yes. Well, what are you binge watching this week?
Let's see. What am I watching? Let me see. I watched all of the Beverly Hills Cop films except for the third one. Yeah. Because Axel Foley came on Netflix, and I was like, I'll check it out. So yeah, I got back into that bag watching all the Beverly Hills Cops films.
Okay.
I think that's it. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't really been binging too much, but I've been watching the Olympics.
The Olympics. I was going to ask you about the Olympics.
Yeah.
Man. So let's talk about what everybody's been talking about. Not the gymnastics, the breakdancing.
The best part of the Olympics was the breakdancing.
It was.
Shout out to Australia. Y'all did y'all thing.
No, Terrell, now you know what?
Man, every time I see that lady, I just can't help but be like, why?
Did
What
you
made
see
you
him
think?
on stage video of him doing it?
Yes, you know I did.
I'm not. You are on stage, the biggest fan. So yeah.
You know I did. Oh my God. It was so accurate because that's exactly what she did. Like, bro, anybody could have got up there and did what you did. You weren't doing anything. When she was doing the bunny hop and she was doing the thing when she was smacking her knees like on the floor, like then she was trying to spin on her head, but she was just rubbing her head on the ground. I was like,
yeah,
like she was having a fit.
Somebody, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of what's that movie? Cool Runnings with the Jamaican bobsled team. I was like, she probably did not qualify in her sport. She was like, what can I do to go to the Olympics?
But the thing is, she got a PhD in
in the cultural studies or whatever.
Breakdancing, so she should have been.
She got no PhD in breakdancing.
Yeah, she do. Look it up, man. The lady got a PhD in breakdancing.
She does not. She got a PhD in the cultural something now. Fool.
Yeah, the culture of breakdancing.
Well, I think that was her Jamaican bobsled, and she was like, you know what? I'm gonna breakdance my way into the Olympics because I didn't qualify in my sport. So,
man, somebody said I was listening to somebody, and they said she lied on her Olympic application.
Yes,
man, that thing tickled me.
Man, social media has had a field day with that one, and it's
because it was so terrible. I was like, man, why? Like, you really got to have some balls to just go up there and embarrass yourself in front of the whole world. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of like the other competitors, they've been doing really good. Like, but a lot of people were saying like the women's just wasn't as good as the men's, and I watched some of the men's breakdancing, and it was pretty good.
Yeah, now I caught some of the men's, and I was like, okay, I was like, I could see this, and you got served too.
Yeah,
bring it back for the one time.
And speaking of bringing it back, I'm just upset that they aren't going to bring it back anymore. I guess they were like, "Ooh, try that. That failed."
Big time failure. Then they were just playing random, like royalty-free music. I was like, "What?" The music they was playing, I was like, "What?" Yeah. That was y'all soundtrack. Like, we're gonna play different tempos. Like, why don't y'all get some licenses and play some real music so these people can really dance?
Yeah, I was so proud that like to see, because it was like seeing breakdancing go from like the streets of the inner cities all the way to Paris, and then it was like, well, try that, and that wasn't the move.
Not at all. That was kind of sad. It was really sad.
But I've been watching the Olympics, and usually the Olympics gets on my nerves because the way I feel about the Olympics is, you know, back in the day when we couldn't control TV, the Olympics took over the TV, and that was all you could watch or go play outside. So
Olympics are outside. Do your choices, man.
Yeah. So, and they would cut off all the different shows and stuff and just show the Olympics. It used to be so annoying. But I've been tuning in. I watched some of the breakdancing, some of the like floor gymnastics, and also some of the cycling.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I watched some of that, and it's been the first time in a long time that I've watched some of the Olympics and actually enjoyed it. So
yeah, I watched more than I think I watched back in 2021 when they had the Olympics in, where was it? China, wherever they was at. I don't know where they was at. Wherever they was at in 2021. I think I watched more this year than I did last year. I think it was kind of like this hype.
Beijing?
Yep, Beijing, China. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to see what Shakira was going to do, and she did great. Yeah. She did her thing. I wanted to see what Noah Lyles was going to do. He did well.
Yeah.
Even though a lot of people was like, we don't like you. I was like, damn, y'all. I mean, I understand why. He talks a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But he was able to back up some of it.
Yeah, but there's been lots of controversies going on during these Olympics. The breakdancing, and then also with the boxing and with the women boxing and the testosterone and all that.
And I thought that was wrong. And they really dropped the ball on that. And that was really messed up. That was probably the worst part of the whole Olympic thing. Like,
Yes.
and the thing, I don't even think the lady meant to make it sound like it sounded, but the way she made it sound was like she was in the ring getting beat up by a man, and nobody was stopping it. It was
like, and then I have to get on my soapbox a little bit, but that to me was a perfect example of how like white tears can be dangerous. Like white women's tears can be very dangerous. Now you got this woman who has competed and trained just as much as you, but because you're getting your ass whooped, now you're crying. I mean, like photos of her like
the punches were too hard. I was like, it's boxing. What is you talking about?
It's supposed to kind of go like that.
Like if I'm boxing, I'm trying to knock you out. Oh man, if we boxing, I'm trying to knock you out. Period.
Yes, them's the rules and them's the breaks.
Like if you don't want to get hit in your face real hard, I'm gonna need you to block.
Yeah, or not box. Yeah, that's also an
option. Yeah, exactly. Right? Come to the Olympics, like she was hitting too hard. Like what?
It's obviously a man. I'm like,
that's like getting in a race, but like they was running too fast. Like. Like, yeah, you think?
Yeah, that's a complaint I would make, and I ain't no competitor, so like, I didn't win because it was just too fast. But if I was an Olympian, then I would have to deal with that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh shit, I wasn't as ready as I thought.
Yeah. Which that would be me. I was not as prepared as I thought.
Thought I was gonna rock it, but
but I just got rocked.
Maybe I need to take a step back.
Yeah, come back next time. But yeah, so but the Olympics have been interesting. Other than that,
Simone Biles do her thing.
Simone, yeah. It's been great. I've been enjoying watching. I usually do not enjoy the Olympics. I usually hate the Olympics.
Yeah, I think that's because they put it in your face. Like it's like really like there. You're like, damn, can I choose? But
yeah.
But we were watching it on Peacock. So watching it on Peacock, you can like, if I missed it, I could watch it.
Yeah, there's so many choices when it comes to watching TV nowadays. Like you're not forced to watch the Olympics. Like, man.
Because then before it'd be like whatever event was on, and if you like, I don't want to watch this. Like I want to watch the basketball game. And you're like, no, you're gonna watch synchronized swimming, and you're gonna love it. Like,
yes,
I'm not.
And I know that this is probably due to technology enhancing, but it just looks better. Like it looks better. Like all of the like team logos and stuff, and all the graphics. It just looks really good. It looks like you're watching something exciting. Like before, God, this like the millionth track competition they done the day. I'm tired of this, and it would just be them running on that red dirt, and that was it. And it was just.
And now it's like, man, it's like an event. Like when they first started off, like it got lights and cameras and it's fireworks, and I was like, damn, okay.
Yeah, it's like a major big thing to watch. It's almost like watching like a light show. Like it's so, but other than that, and I've been rewatching True Blood. See, I took a break from Supernatural.
Yeah, okay, it's about damn time.
But I've seen True Blood like 15 times. So, but that's what I'm watching. So, other than that, that's all going on with me and my binging. So, all right. Well, you want to take us out, T-Rex?
All right, let's get it.
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yes, because that's our show. Thanks everybody for tuning in today. We had a great time discussing Crooklyn, and we hope you enjoyed listening to our thoughts and insights. If you want to know more about Sips and Scripts, head over to our website, sipsandscripts.com, or follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Sips and Scripts Podcast. We would love to hear from you, whether it's to suggest a film for us, share your thoughts on today's episode, or just say, hey, what it do? Drop us a DM on social media. Until next time, cheers.
Cheers.
Clean, 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 clean.
All righty.